And the road trip continues in South Florida. The roof is open tonight. It's a beautiful night for a ball game in Miami. The Brewers and the Miami Marlins. Carlos Gomez, he's back in after a day off yesterday. Had a big day on Wednesday against Atlanta with 3 hits, including a home run. Unfortunately, Ryan Braun is not in the starting lineup. Braun will get today off, available to pinch hit, out with that oblique injury. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Marlins Park in Miami. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. And we'll hear from Telly Hughes in just a moment about some of those injuries. Rock, you're talking about the big three here with Aramis Ramirez still on the disabled list, Braun, Gomez. Getting those three in the lineup together has been the challenge this year.
Yeah, it's been one thing after another. You got a couple of guys nursing some back problems. Ramirez with a hamstring. I mean, everybody in Milwaukee knows that in order for the Brewers to be consistent in scoring runs and win games, these three guys have got to be in a lineup. I mean, this kind of quantifies what we've been talking about. With all three of these guys in the lineup, they're 16-6. With only 2 of them in the lineup, they're at 500. And then when only 1 of them in the lineup, like tonight, Carlos Gomez is the only guy in the lineup. They're 3-6. So that kind of gives you an idea how important these three guys are. I mean, everybody knows that, but it bears out just talking about it right with those numbers.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Marlins now. This is a new ball club this year. They have changed the culture a little bit here in Miami. And, Rock, they have the best record at home in the big leagues.
And it's basically a culture change. I mean, these Florida Marlins, I mean, they used to complain about their big ballpark here at Marlins Park. Frank Menachino, their hitting coach, has kind of convinced these guys not to swing for the fences. And what have they been doing? They've been hitting home runs, scoring runs, one of the best teams in all of baseball at home. They got the best home record, 19-6. They're second in the league in batting average and home runs. They've been a patient team at the plate. It's been a lot of fun for these Marlins fans to watch this team at home. They have 5 come-from-behind victories, or I should say 5 walk-offs here at home alone this year.
Including one yesterday against the Phillies. It'll be Tom Kohler against Marco Estrada tonight when we continue. Telly Hughes will give us more on the Brewers hurler this evening, Marco Estrada.
on their longest road trip of the season. Brewers and Marlins getting set for the first of 3 in Miami. Welcome back inside Marlins Park. I'm Telly Hughes. The Brewers return to Marco Estrada to open this series, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster as of late for Estrada after taking that loss at Chicago in his last start. But if you take a look back at his previous start against Pittsburgh, Marco found a way to get it done, and that's the start he would like to build on because there's absolutely nothing he wants to take away from his most recent outing.
It's easy. I don't want to take anything from it because it was really bad, and I want to work on everything. My last bullpen went really well. Worked on a couple of things, my timing, the tempo. It was really quick, so I slowed things down, and I was able to actually locate everything a lot better. Threw some really good changeups this last bullpen, so I'm feeling pretty good about this next start.
Coming up, the crew looks to mold a series opening win in Miami where visitors have been brutally welcomed. Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder are up next with the first pitch between the Brewers and Marlins next.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Beautiful structure here, modern design, lots of bright colors. Looks like Miami inside Marlins Park, and the roof is open tonight. 84 degrees. Just a great night for the Grand Ole game. The Brewers ready to start their final leg of this 10-day road trip. They have lost both series leading up to tonight, so this is an important 3-gamer for Ron Renicky and the Milwaukee Brewers this evening as they start 3 against the Marlins before returning home on Monday. Here's the Associated Bank batting order for the Brew Crew. Gene Segura back in the leadoff spot. Jeanette and Lucroy to follow. Carlos Gomez returns to the lineup and hits cleanup. He'll be followed by Mark Reynolds and then Lyle Overbay. Chris Davis, Logan Schaefer, and Marco Estrada round out the Brewers' 9. That will face hard-throwing right-hander. Kind of found it late in his career. Tom Kohler, he's been one of their best, Rob.
Yes, he has. I mean, 4-3 and a 225 earned run average in 9 starts. He was an 18th round draft choice back in 2008. He's 6'2", 235 pounds, and has been terrific here at Marlins Park. 3-0 with a .64 earned run average. So the Brewers have their work cut out for him tonight. Now let's check out the Marlins as they line up defensively. Brought to you by Menards. They're currently 13th in fielding percentage in the National League. They've been kicking it around a little bit. They've committed 36 errors. Former Brewer Casey McGee at third base. Garrett Jones, another guy from the National League Central on this ball club. He's over at first base. And the All-Star and the big-time power hitter Giancarlo Stanton out in right field.
Check the four-man umpiring crew tonight. That is Marvin Hudson calling the balls and strikes. Doug Eddings, Brian Onora, and Corey Blazer, the three base umpires. All the pieces in place as we get ready to play ball here in Miami. Gene Segura leads the way for the Brewers. Brewers coming off a very tough loss, a disappointing loss in so many ways yesterday. Had the bullpen snafu of the 7th inning, dropped 3 out of 4 from the Atlanta Braves. They're hoping to get things turned around before they head home. Brewers will have 3 teams on the next homestand. They'll start with the Orioles, and then the Cubs, and then the Twins. So that'll be a key homestand for them. Brewers are still 8 games over 500. First place in the National League Central. And the Miami Marlins are keeping themselves in the picture as well. In the National League East, they start today just back of the Atlanta Braves by a couple of games.
And the Marlins doing it much differently than the Brewers. Brewers are doing good pitching and defense. The Marlins have been swinging the bats well.
There's Mike Redmond, the second-year skipper of the Miami Marlins. Remember when they opened this ballpark, Ozzie Guillen was the skipper here. Did not make it through the year as Segura lines one to center down a base hit. Good way to start the night as Gene Segura singles.
Segura with a good day yesterday at the plate in Atlanta. He had 3 hits, all coming in his first 3 at bats. Segura scored a couple of runs. Brewers are going to need to manufacture runs tonight. Ryan Braun not in the lineup. You got Ramirez still on the disabled list. You figure you're going to have to score some runs to beat the Marlins. They can swing the bats.
Yeah, the Marlins are really swinging the bats here at home as well. I mean, it goes to their terrific home record. They're off to the best start in franchise history at home, winning 19 games already. 5 of those, as Rock mentioned in the open, have come as the walk-off variety, including a walk-off win last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, against the Philadelphia Phillies. And the Marlins took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. Scooter Gennett trying to get Segura on the move. Back in the 2 spot this evening. Segura takes off. Gennett lets him run. The throw up the line and a stolen base for Segura. Now on his way to third. The throw comes in and that gets away. And Segura will hold his ground.
A bit risky going to third base. Well, Segura saw right away how far that ball squirted away from Hechavarria, the shortstop who took the throw. He knocked it down. It squirted away from him, but Gene Segura doing a very good job of identifying where that ball was. Got up quickly and is able to get into third base. Good throw. Would have been very interesting at third.
That'll be a stolen base and then an E2, an error on the catcher Saltalamacchia. The Brewers certainly feel they're going to be able to run a little bit tonight with the combination of Kohler and Saltalamacchia, the Marlins battery. And Segura ends up at third base. Scooter Gennett, chance to play run producer here. Marlins have their infield back in this first inning, and Gennett sends one high in the air to left. Plenty deep to get Segura home. Yelich will make the catch. And Segura will score. So the Brewers use their legs to get the first run in. They strike first here at Marlins Park.
Well, the Brewers able to score early in the game in last night's game out in Atlanta. A good start to the night for the Brewers offense. Take advantage of mistakes. We talked about the Marlins have been throwing it around a little bit this year. 37 errors.
Trying to bring up Jonathan Lucroy. He hits third in the absence of Ryan Braun. Braun exited last night's game after his second at bat. Still a little tightness in that right side, although Telly reported in our pregame show that Braun is available to pinch hit tonight, and I'm guessing he'd be available in the lineup tomorrow. Just feeling like he needs one more day. It's going to be a constant battle as Lucroy slaps one through the hole, the base hit. Second hit of the inning against Tom Kohler in this first.
He has been the one constant on this road trip. The offense has been up and down, but Lucroy continues to swing the bat. This time pulling one into left field. Hasn't been doing much of that. Most of his hits have come up the middle into right field.
Well, Carlos Gomez had the day off yesterday, coming off a very nice start against the Atlanta Braves on Wednesday. His Powerball home run count is up to 10. He homered, had 3 hits on Wednesday. And his ailment was a little tightness in the back, and he did it in his final swing, in his final at bat on Wednesday against Atlanta. He wasn't able to go yesterday.
Yeah, he was looking good early in the game, but a couple days ago, towards his last couple of at bats, a little bit different.
And Gomez sends that one to left, backing up Yelich at the track, and this big ballpark gobbles it up. Gomez flies out.
Yeah, no cheapies in this ballpark. It sounded like Gomez got it down on the trademark a little bit. And Yelich had plenty of room out there in left field. 386 into the gap out in left center. Gomez with the high finish, the big swing. Looks like that back's feeling okay. Nearly hit one out.
So 2 gone for Mark Reynolds. Scoring against Tom Kohler has been a challenge for the opposition in this ballpark. Comes into this start tonight, as Rock mentioned, a 0.64 ERA. That is the best ERA at home in the big leagues. Kohler had held opponents scoreless at home over his last 22 innings. But the Brewers strike first, put a run on the board in this first inning on an RBI sac fly from Jeanette.
Well, you know my theory on that kind of success, right? He's due to give it up tonight. Nobody can be that good that long.
It's all about the correction.
This is his 5th start at home this year.
Well, 4 times this season, 4 different starts, Kohler has allowed 0 runs in a start, including his last time out against the Giants. Went 7 innings against San Francisco. That was on the road. That was his first road win. A 4-3 record. He's 10th in the league overall in ERA at 2.25. Perfect 3-0 here at Marlins Park. And a bit of a late bloomer. Had a great September last season. That propelled him into the rotation this year, but he'll turn 28 later this summer.
Yeah, last year 5-11 with an earned run average at 4.5. 23 starts last year for Kohler. Good fastball. He gets it in the mid-90s. Excellent curveball. And he'll also mix in a slider from time to time, most of the time to right-handed batters.
2-2 to Mark Reynolds, and that one's in the air to center. Ozuna will run it down. The inning is over, but the Brewers able to manufacture their first run tonight. It started with a Segura single. He steals second, goes to third on an error, and then Jeanette picks him up with a sac fly. Good start for the Crew tonight. We head to the bottom of the first. signature art pieces here at Marlins Park. The home run board. I'm not sure exactly how to describe that, but it is truly Miami. There is Mike Redmond, second-year skipper of the Marlins. Had a rough year last year, but got things going in his direction in 2014. And take a look at his batting order today. It is brought to you by Associated Bank. Christian Yelich had the walk-off hit yesterday. He leads off. Derek Dietrich, Giancarlo Stanton at the top. Middle of the order, old friend Casey McGee, the former Brewer. Garrett Jones, Jared Saltalamacchia. Bottom three, Marcell Ozuna, who homered yesterday. Adeiny Echeverria and Tommy Kohler will round it out.
And Marco Estrada making start number 10. He's had a difficult time locating his changeup last couple of starts, and that's very unusual for him. Last time out, lost to the Cubs. That was his first loss since April 15th, so Marco has been pretty consistent.
Estrada looking for a bit of a bounce back. He did not like the way he pitched against the Chicago Cubs. Hung in there, though. The Brewers had a chance to win that game, but he lost his changeup that day. And when Marco Estrada loses his changeup, he, in Florida terms, begins to wrestle the alligator on the mound, right?
Yes, he's in trouble.
Yelich slices one in the gap. Davis over and will run it down. Well hit ball by Christian Yelich, but Chris Davis able to fetch it and one away.
Let's check out the Brewers as a lineup defensively. Had a rough series in Atlanta, made some errors. That defense brought to you by Menards. You see Logan Schaefer out in right field. 18th career start in right field for him. Ryan Braun sitting this one out. Carlos Gomez back in the starting lineup, and Jonathan Lucroy already with a base hit tonight, back behind home plate.
Now Schaefer getting a lot of playing time with Gomez and Braun dealing with injuries here lately. There's strike one to Derek Dietrich. Getting the call at second base tonight. The Marlins hired Rafael Furcal to play second this year. Signed him to a one-year deal. A little over $3.5 million, but he has not been able to play. He's injured. Groin and hamstring injuries. And Furcal has not been part of this group and this culture change that you talked about, Rock, here in Miami. They've really paid attention to some veteran players who have influence in the clubhouse, whether they are playing or not. Guys like McGee and Garrett Jones, Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, Reed Johnson, the former Cub on this ball club. And it comes down to Frank Menachino, their hitting coach. He got tired of all the complaining about the size of this ballpark. Told these guys to adjust their approach, and they have done a good job in making that adjustment because they have been swinging the bats to the tune of about a 300 batting average at home this year. There's the hitting coach.
Bouncer to Jeanette. He'll gobble it up and take care of Dietrich for out number two.
Nothing wrong with making your team accountable. I mean, they got rid of some of the guys that did most of the complaining in that clubhouse about the ballpark, how big it was, and got some veteran guys from the National League Central Division, and the results speak for themselves.
And they have one of the premier players in the big leagues. This guy right here, Giancarlo Stanton. 12 homers, 45 driven in. Nobody has as much power in the major leagues than Giancarlo Stanton. And he has the kind of power you can look through the annals of baseball history. There's been a few guys that have as much. Nobody's had more, though. This guy can hit them into the far reaches of any ballpark.
Tape measure shots. I mean, he's already hit some shots in his ballpark that they're still talking about.
And that one's into center field deep. Gomez looks up, and that is way gone. Right on cue. Giancarlo Stanton ties it up with a bomb to center.
And it's 418 out there, and that wall is high. It's got to be 15 feet up there, and that one way out of here to center field. It was a four-seam fastball at 90 miles an hour right down the middle of the plate, and Stanton with that nice short stroke. He knew it. And when these kind of guys hit him, they know it, and he just watched it for a minute and then started his trot around the bases. That was a big fly right there.
13th homer of the year. 46 RBIs now for Stanton. And here is Casey McGee. Take another look at that and listen to that sound off the bat. You just knew it was gone. Off the batter's eye back there. Good to see Casey McGee back in the big leagues after a year in Japan last year. Nearly hit 30 homers in Japan last season. He's only hit 1 this year, but he's driven in 30.
And talking to the folks that cover this Marlins ball club, they say that Casey's been victimized by this big ballpark quite a bit. A lot of fly balls off the top of the fence, but he has driven in 30 runs. He's been a key component, obviously the cleanup hitter.
And Estrada punches him out, goes with a fastball to get him, but not before Giancarlo Stanton goes deep, and we're tied at 1.
Has tied things up here in the top of the second between the Brewers and Marlins, and I reported this during Brewers Live pregame, where Yovani Gallardo, who is scheduled to start on Sunday, had a really good bullpen session according to manager Ron Renicky, but he said he really wanted to sit down with general manager Doug Melvin and just try to figure things out and see if it's the best thing for Yovani to make his start on Sunday. He said he just feared there would be too much movement involved if Yovani starts, and he doesn't want him to have a short start, and then it totally puts everything else out of whack in terms of if someone has to cover the last 7 innings or 8 innings of one game, and then it'll stretch it to the next game and the next game. So we'll still see, and we'll hopefully get word on if Yovani will make his start on Sunday after tonight's ball game, BA.
All right, Telly, thanks. And there's a lot to talk about with Yovani Gallardo in this decision as Lyle Overbay falls behind 0-2. Each team with a run in the first. Brewers got a sac fly and an RBI from Jeanette. Giancarlo Stanton with a home run. As Kohler delivers, and down goes Overbay quickly on 3 pitches.
There's that curveball we were talking about. That's a good one. He's going to throw a lot of them. A sharp breaking curveball going straight down, and that completely fooled Overbay, and that was clearly in the strike zone.
Let's get into Gallardo a little bit, Rock, and your thoughts about what the manager has to say. He said the bullpen went really well, as Telly mentioned. He threw the ball great. You know, his stuff looked good.
That's a controlled environment, though. I mean, you know, let's think about how he hurt his ankle. It was fielding his position. So is he going to be able to get off the mound and field? Is he going to be able to run the bases? I mean, those are things that are not in a controlled environment. So got to make sure he's all right. If he goes out there and makes a start, twists that ankle and makes it worse, he could be out for an extended period of time. So those are the things they're talking about. You know, throwing off a bullpen, and that's good. That's good news that he didn't really have a whole lot of problems. But there's a lot more to pitching in the game than just working off the bullpen, off the mound.
And Gallardo will not go on the disabled list as Davis fouls one back near us. That's a pretty big league foul ball if he can get one up where we are. I haven't had one close here in this ballpark. Not that we've done a whole lot of games. 1-2 the count on Davis. There we are, way up there. We don't have a sign yet. We're waiting on our sign.
See here, waving.
Kind of the blank. It's open for sponsorship if you'd like to pony up here in the next 24 hours.
Broadcasters to be signed later.
Right. Now at the AAA level, it does bear mentioning that Jimmy Nelson was scratched from his start tonight. There was a lot of discussion on who it might be. Would it be Tyler Thornburg to start on Sunday for Gallardo, who's already in the big leagues in the bullpen? Would the Brewers go to the AAA ranks, either Mike Fiers or Jimmy Nelson? And Jimmy Nelson's start was pushed back tonight, so that would lead you to believe it would be Nelson, but we'll wait and see. As Davis takes a called strike 3, and Kohler with 2 strikeouts to start this second inning.
He's got good command. Although he does have some walks, 24 walks, 37 strikeouts coming into tonight's game. That's in 56 innings. But he's got good location so far tonight with both of his pitches.
Here's Logan Schaefer now on the first pitch. Dumps it into left center, a base hit. Schaefer's bat coming alive a little bit. He's been getting a lot of playing time here in the absence of Braun and or Gomez.
And he's been making starts for Chris Davis, who, a stretch of time wasn't swinging the bat all that well. So Logan Schaefer has been getting starts in left, center, and right.
And that'll clear the pitcher spot. Marco Estrada all smiles as he steps in. Nice dig over there by Garrett Jones, the former Pirate. Only the Colorado Rockies with a better home batting average than the Marlins. Big part of why they are so successful here. I wonder if they can keep that run going.
Yeah, overall, the Marlins second in the National League, but they're 34 points behind the Colorado Rockies. Got to swing it to beat the Marlins, that's for sure, particularly here.
Marlins suffered a big blow. They lost their ace, Jose Fernandez. He is going to require Tommy John surgery and going to be out for the year. Won't see him back until next season. But they've actually been able to hang in there, and it's been the emergence of Tom Kohler that has given the Marlins quite the lift. Estrada beats it into the ground. Derek Dietrich flips it over to first. Side retired. A couple of strikeouts for Kohler. Marlins coming up, bottom of the second in a 1-1 game. Miami, sitting this one out this evening, all tied at 1. Say tomorrow, a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Rangers taking on the Tigers on FS1. And then it's the season premiere, a baseball night in America on Fox. Got the Cardinals and the Reds, the Royals against the Angels or the Nationals, and the Pirates. MLB doubleheader begins tomorrow, 2:30 Central on Fox Sports 1. And the Texas Rangers, a game under. And there is talk that Prince Fielder could be out for the year. They're talking about surgery. That's been the recommendation for Prince Fielder, a herniated disc in his neck. And now you start to understand why he wasn't able to have that big swing as a member of the Tigers last year. And you feel bad for Prince. Remember, he had a long streak going of consecutive games that was pushing 500.
Yep.
So a tough break for the Rangers. I've never seen a ball club with more injuries than the Texas Rangers, including their entire starting rotation to begin the year.
And the Rangers a game under 500. Hottest team in the National League are the Cardinals right now. They've won 8 of 10, 3 in a row. Toronto Blue Jays starting to play some good ball. They're in first place in the American League East.
Marco skips one in on Garrett Jones. St. Louis tonight is on the road in Cincinnati, and that is a scoreless game in the second inning. They're going to the third now in Cincinnati. Cardinals are 5 games over, Brewers 8 games over. Jones to the opposite field, right to Davis. 1 out. Next opponent for the Brew Crew will be the Orioles. Baltimore is at home tonight against Cleveland. They are scoreless in the second. Continue that run through the American League East, and so far the Brewers are 5-1. They swept Boston on the road at Fenway, took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees at Miller Park.
And the Orioles have had a rough time. They lost 7 of 10.
Saltalamacchia, the former Red Sox catcher, World Series champion. Takes a whole lot of jersey to put that name on the back, does it not?
That's right. There's a good changeup from Marco. That's more like it. He was having a tough time throwing out for strikes in his last start. Actually, the start before as well.
And a swing and a miss. Marco punches out Saltalamacchia, his second K. On the changeup once again. Looks like he's got his good stuff going tonight.
Well, he's got that pitch going down on the way to a left-handed batter. Check it out. There it is. And Marco Estrada, seems like he's got that pitch working for him again.
Well, 2 gone. That'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. Young center fielder off to a very good start. 8 home runs, 30 driven in. Ozuna homered yesterday, scored the winning run yesterday. He had a grand slam here on Wednesday against the Phillies. So homering in his last 2 games, driving in a bunch of runs. That ball is kissed into center field. Gomez going back, reaches up and makes the catch. Carlos Gomez tracks one down. What a play by Gomez. The Gold Glover in the National League last year, showing that form here tonight. Back in the lineup, feeling spry, and reaches up, pulls it in at the last moment. Here, Rick Schlesinger, the COO, with his parents. Good to have the Schlesingers in the ballpark. Now the Brewers all tied up. Freaky fast delivery courtesy of Jimmy John's, responsible for that first run as Gene Segura had a hit, a stolen base, and then the sac fly brought him in all the way around the bags for Segura. Scoring a run in the first. Giancarlo Stanton homering for Miami in the bottom of the first, and that's where we sit as we begin the third.
Yeah, for a guy that says he doesn't like hitting leadoff, he's done a pretty good job last couple of nights. Got 4 hits as a leadoff hitter from last night to tonight. 4 hits, 3 runs scored for Segura.
Segura having a terrific road trip. He is 10 for 28 now on the trip, hitting .357. This shows bunt. Kohler barehands it, fires to first. If he gets it down the line a little bit, it's a base hit, but too close to the pitcher.
Yeah, well, Kohler ate him up inside, and it's very difficult to place the bunt where you want it when you have to jump out of the way. That was a pretty good pitch inside, and that's why he wasn't able to put it down the line.
Here's Scooter Gennett with one away. Sac fly and an RBI his first time up. Gennett now with 11 runs batted in. Part of that second base platoon with Ricky Weeks. Worked out pretty well thus far. We combined the numbers for Weeks and Scooter Gennett. It's tough to carry 2 second basemen, however. 2 players who only play second, probably better stated. Doesn't give you much flexibility defensively.
Well, Scooter said that in a pinch he can go into left field. Well, based on the way he goes back into short right field on pop-ups, you figure he could handle the outfield pretty well. Not over the long term, but if need be.
Well, if you combine the numbers, these two have driven in 17 RBIs. Gennett and Weeks got an on-base percentage about 340-ish. As Gennett strikes out, nasty breaking ball from Kohler, that slider, and he punches out Gennett. He has 3 Ks, 2 up, 2 down in the third.
Hey, with all-inclusive areas, tailgate facilities, and more, it's no wonder Miller Park was recently voted the state's top location for a group outing. To book a group event at Wisconsin's premier entertainment venue, visit brewers.com/groups.
2 gone, nobody on for Lucroy. Kohler pouring in the strikes. Speaking of good road trips, Jonathan Lucroy having a terrific run, starting in Chicago and then in Atlanta. 12 for 27. He's got a .444 average on the road trip. Had a hit his first time up. Lucroy had 4 doubles in the Braves series. Got a couple of key hits yesterday. 2 2-out RBI hits, a single and a double. Brewers just couldn't hold on to a 4-1 lead yesterday. Let it get away in the bottom of the 7th. Easy play for Dietrich, and Lucroy is retired, and Tom Kohler 1-2-3 inning with a K. All tied at 1. Marlins are coming up in the bottom of the third. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. And by First Supply, with 115 years of service and 28 locations, professional contractors choose First Supply. Sunset in South Florida. Beautiful night for baseball on a Friday night. Great to have you with us this evening. All tied at 1 here as the Brewers and the Marlins match up for the first time this season. Marco Estrada, 2 innings, giving up 1 run. Gave up an 0-2 home run to Giancarlo Stanton. Otherwise, he has been crisp. Has a couple of strikeouts and looks like he has a good changeup tonight.
They have a couple of hard hit outs, by the Marlins last inning, but good Brewers defense able to make the catch. One of the few times that we've been to Miami and around batting practice did not rain. Figures, right? You got a roof. Let it rain, but it didn't rain tonight.
They do let it rain in here. You're right. Just to get some moisture on the field. Danny Echeverria leading off for the Marlins. Remember, Rock, the first year this ballpark was open, they had a different kind of grass, and it struggled to survive. It didn't make it. So they had to totally redo their surface. You could not find a better playing surface in the big leagues than what they have here. And players were raving about the grass before the game. I was talking to Gene Segura about the infield track. It's fast like AstroTurf, but it's true.
They got a nice growing season here in Miami.
Yes, about 12 months, right?
Unlike what they have to deal with in Milwaukee.
Echeverria strikes out, and Estrada with 3 Ks now.
Yep, there it is. The changeup. It's back. National League beware. Marco Estrada's got that changeup working once again.
Gives you an idea of how important those side sessions are between starts down in the bullpen. Marco was telling Hughes yesterday in Atlanta that he just fought that changeup in his last start and really wanted to work at it. Spent a lot of time on it in his side session in Atlanta, found it, and has taken it to his start here tonight.
And Marco said he was rushing his delivery. I mean, even as deliberate as Marco is, and not too many pitchers that are more deliberate in their windup than Marco Estrada, but even still, last start, even the start before, rushing a little bit, and that's one of the reasons why he couldn't locate his pitches as well.
No balls, 2 strikes on the pitcher Kohler. And down he goes. Out of the glove of Lucroy. He'll have to secure the strikeout at first. He does so. Back-to-back Ks. 4 now for Marco.
Hey, Memorial Day is coming up. That's Monday, May 26th. Come out to Miller Park. The Brewers will wear special camo-themed uniforms honoring past and present military personnel as they take on Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, and Chris Davis, and the rest of the Baltimore Orioles. Reserve your seats today at 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com.
Back to the top of the order, Christian Yelich with 2 away. Yelich coming off his first career walk-off hit in yesterday's win against the Phillies. His only hit of the game. Marlins gave up a lead in that game. 3-0 they led. They gave it up late, but came back to win. Their closer, Cishek, actually got the win yesterday. And is now 4-1.
How about a closer, 4-1?
Hey, you don't want your closer winning too many games, do you?
But if you do it walk-off fashion, why not, right? Got 9 saves and 4 wins already this year.
Marlins have 5 walk-off victories among their 19 home wins. There's Cishek, unorthodox Marlins closer.
Side armor, right?
He's nasty in a different way than what the Brewers just faced in Craig Kimbrell last night. You don't want to see either one of them. 3 balls and a strike. Yelich swings and misses. Pulled the string on him on a 3-1 pitch.
And that's what Marco does. Even when he's down in the count, he knows that he's going to be able to throw the change up for strikes.
See what he goes with here. 3-2. And that one is a fastball right down the middle. Surprised him. Marco Estrada. Another strikeout. He punches out the side and now has 5 for the game. All tied at 1 through 3.
At 1 apiece. Let's take a look at our Blaine's Farm and Fleet Down on the Farm. Congratulations are in order for Kentrell Davis becoming the first Stars player to ever hit for the cycle, going 4 for 6 and scoring 3 runs, while of course getting a single, double, triple, and a home run. And in his last 5 games, he's hitting .474 with a home run and 3 RBIs. So once again, congratulations to Kentrell Davis. And BA and Rock, before I toss it back up to you guys, just want to pass along a note that Rod Renicky said on Carlos Gomez hitting cleanup tonight. You guys mentioned that Gene Segura has 4 hits in the leadoff spot, and that made Ron Renicky want to keep him there and move Carlos down, even though Carlos had 3 hits in his last game in Atlanta.
Yeah, you take them as they go, and a guy gets hot. You don't want to disrupt that. Gomez could certainly hit anywhere in the lineup, and he has the power. He's the club leader in home runs. And Renicky's kind of been searching for somebody in the middle of that order, in the power spots in the order, in the absence of Braun and Ramirez, and Gomez certainly fits the bill.
And Renicky in spring training put Gomez in the leadoff spot out of necessity. Not that he wanted that. That wasn't his ideal lineup, but he'd much prefer to have Carlos down in more of an RBI spot in the batting order, and that's where he is tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gomez leads the way here in the 4th inning. Catches the inside corner, 1-2. A late bloomer, Tom Kohler, 27 years of age. He'll be 28 in June. Drafted by the Marlins, an 18th rounder, made his way through their system. As Gomez laces one down the line, that's going to go to the wall. Carlos on his way to second, and it'll be a stand-up double to start the 4th.
Yeah, left a breaking ball in on the inner half, and Gomez with a nice short stroke. That was a nice swing by Carlos. There's that slider. It was supposed to be away, ended up middle in, and Gomez hammers it down the line and left. There's a leadoff double, so the Brewers once again get a leadoff hitter aboard. That's the 2nd time tonight.
Gomez out there for Mark Reynolds. Leadoff double here in the 4th. All tied at 1. First inning runs tonight for each club. Jeanette had the RBI for the Brewers in the 1st on a sac fly. Giancarlo Stanton homered to deep center at the bottom of the 1st. Reynolds with 9 home runs, 19 driven in, and a grand slam on Wednesday in Atlanta. That ball's in the air to left. Way back there. Yelich looking up. Goodbye. Mark Reynolds with a 2-run home run. And the Brewers take the lead 3-1 as Reynolds belts his 10th.
That looked like another breaking pitch. This time Reynolds able to wait back and knock it out of here. So Gomez with a double on a slider. Reynolds waits back on a breaking ball and able to carry this one out of here. There it is, middle in, and looked like Mark Reynolds waiting for it, got under it, but he's strong enough to knock it out of here. Well, he gets in a groove. I mean, he can hit some home runs. He hits them in bunches. It's such a nice, easy swing and generates so much power.
There's a shot off the backside of Kohler, recovers and throws Overbay out. Tough break for the Brewer first baseman. Hit that right on the nose. Back to the home run.
Thought it was a breaking ball. Actually a fastball to Reynolds that was middle in, and able to carry it out of here to left field. Brewers with a 3-1 lead.
And the second to double digits in home runs this year. On the Powerball home run leaderboard, Reynolds and Gomez with 10 apiece. One man out, bases empty for Chris Davis. Davis struck out looking in the second inning. Kohler has 3 Ks, and 2 of those came in the second inning.
They got him on a 3-2 pitch that was very close on the outside corner. Davis thought it was off the plate. Marvin Hudson rung him up. Like Kohler using a lot of curveballs tonight, and a lot of times leaving him inside on right-handed batters, which is not normally what you want to do.
And there's a curveball, and it's lined right to McGee. Casey McGee with a nice play. And a bad break for Chris Davis. That ball was headed to the fence.
Curveballs that stay up and in on right-handed hitters are usually called hangers, and that time Davis turns on one, but unfortunately right at McGee at third.
Very steady third baseman McGee. Doesn't have great range, but he'll catch anything in his area. And good quick reactions there to make that play. Second out of the inning. Here's Logan Schaefer now, who singled his last time up. Shows bunt. Not a bad idea.
The Brewers able to lay 3 runs on Kohler here at home. He'd only given up 2 runs at home in his first 4 starts.
Two and nothing on Schaefer. 2-1 it goes. Kohler is from New York, New Rochelle. He was born in the Bronx, and his father is a New York police officer, NYPD. Two and one. Slow roller foul. And the reports on Kohler, he's a tough kid. He's persevered through the minor leagues. It was always thought that Kohler didn't have enough fastball to be a big league starter, which is interesting because you watch how he pitches now. You would never think that. He's got a plus fastball, as a matter of fact.
95, yeah.
Schaefer pops it into foul territory. And not a lot of room over there. That'll end up in the seats.
Kind of unusual because velocity is not something you ordinarily pick up as your experience goes on. I mean, as you age, velocity usually goes down.
And what the Marlins are saying about Kohler is that when they put him in the bullpen and he knew it was going to be short spurts, his fastball was elevated. That's normally the case with everyone, but he jumped 5-6 miles per hour. He was letting it go, and he realized that he could pitch that way. And as he built up his stamina, even as a starting pitcher, he could throw at that kind of a velocity. In the air for Ozuna, broke back. Actually, it's going to be Echeverria, the shortstop, to make the play. Side retired, but Mark Reynolds sends one out. A 2-run home run. Reynolds puts the Brewers on top, 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Here we are, Marlins Park tonight in Little Havana, near downtown Miami. Beautiful setting this evening. Roof is open on a Friday night. Carsoup.com trivia tonight. Who was the Brewers leader in RBIs for the 2010 season, the year before Ron Renicky arrived? 2010 season RBI leader. He may or may not be in the ballpark tonight.
A pretty good chance he is. Kind of the history with the trivia question every night. Can I answer it?
No, not yet. Nah, let the people play along, Ron. You don't have to be smarter than everyone every night.
Oh, that's what you think I am? That's the first I've heard of that.
Marco Estrada ready to go here. Derek Dietrich leading off. Marco Estrada has been getting ahead often tonight, not in this case, but of the 11 batters he's faced, he's been ahead of him on 8 occasions. And other than the one mistake, which was an 0-2 pitch to Stanton, who hit it out to center field, Estrada has been efficient, has 5 strikeouts through the first 10 batters he's faced.
And just slipped a fastball by Dietrich on a 2-0 count. 88 miles an hour, but seems a lot quicker to the hitter because of his changeup. There's a changeup, 2-1, got back even in the count.
Dietrich and Ed Lucas sharing time at second base. Lucas got the start yesterday, had a couple of hits. Dietrich in there today against the right-handed starter, and a foul out of play. Marlins are not expecting for Call to come back anytime soon. He's had a significant injury history over the last few years. It's going back to the 2012 season. So if he comes back, it'll be a bonus, but they're content with what they have at second as Dietrich gets jammed. And that giant outfield out there, Gomez covering a lot of ground, makes a play for the out. One gone in the fourth.
Yeah, with the way things are going for the Marlins, you don't want to be shaking up that chemistry too much. I mean, Things are going pretty well for this ball club right now. Hanging right in there in a very tough Eastern Division.
Giancarlo Stanton last time up on an 0-2 pitch. Destroys one to center field over that high wall out there. No ballpark can hold him, not even this one. Jonathan Lucroy was sharing some stories from the World Baseball Classic when they came down here at Team USA and they trained here and played the first round here. Lucroy and Stanton were teammates, and he was pointing out all of the areas where Stanton would hit it during BP. And all of those distances started with a 5. There's an area up above center field near where he hit that home run that they've marked at 5:02. And Lucroy saying Stanton would regularly go up there during batting practice during the WBC. Right off the end of the bat, and the only infielder on that side is Overbay, and he makes a play for out number 2.
Yeah, rattling him off of that home run artwork out there in left center. Taking chunks out of that statue, I guess that's what you call it. It moves around and lights up, and that Marlin there swims around when a Marlin hits a home run.
It really does need a name. It's not named yet, like the ballpark is unnamed at this point.
I got a few names I have in mind.
I mean, you know, it all fits in with the Clevelander, though, which is the famous bar here in Miami, and they have a Clevelander in the outfield, in left field, and that array that you would see on that piece of art for the home run, and it's massive.
Yeah.
But that's very similar to what you might see coming out of the Clevelander at 2 in the morning, just in your own mind.
Yeah, it looks like that anyway.
There's a lot going on with that structure.
Not too many nightclubs in the confines of a Major League Baseball park, but the Clevelander out there.
Casey McGee bounces to third. Mark Reynolds, long throw in time. That's a good inning for Marco Estrada. Retires the heart of their order. 1, 2, 3. Segura coming up.
Miami Brewers up 3-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Time to check in with the crew in the community. The Milwaukee Brewers Community Involvement Initiative, known as the Community Achievers Award, will recognize residents throughout the state of Wisconsin each month during the season for displaying extraordinary efforts in their community. All adults and school-age children throughout the state of Wisconsin are eligible to participate in the Community Achievers Program. Nominate at brewers.com/community. Brian?
All right, Telly, thanks. And here we go to the 5th inning from Miami. Marco Estrada will lead off. And then back to the top of the order. Segura followed by Jeanette. Tom Kohler back at work, and first ball swinging back up the middle. Echeverria lays out, spins, throws, and safe is the call.
I don't know. You might see Mike Redmond come out and take a look at that one. Give his video crew an opportunity to look at that. It would be Marco Estrada's first base hit. And here comes the Marlins manager. Not sure if Kohler got a piece of it. What a play by Echeverria. Gets up, realizes who's running, and able to make the play over there. Getting up and a good throw. Bang, bang. We'll see it on the replay, I would imagine.
And Mike Redmond is taking the slow walk out to Brian Onora, first base umpire. And be taking a look. Here's maybe the best angle at it, and it's close. So it's an official challenge here. We've seen a bunch of them. We had 4 challenges last night. I guess 3 challenges in 1 review. 4 times the umpires went to the headset, though. So the crew chief.
Some of these cities that the Brewers go to, and we talked to the broadcast, and they said, how's the replay been going? They say they haven't seen that many. It seems like the Brewers have 1 or 2 every night.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to take another look at it. You're always concerned with Marco Estrada having to find an extra gear running the bases. He has had leg injuries in the past, and they have typically come when he has been at the plate running the bases. They just put up the image on the giant scoreboard here.
It shows Marco being out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be an out call at first base based on what we saw on the scoreboard.
Doug Eddings and Brian Onora with the headsets on.
So Marco, you're going to have to wait for your first hit.
Waiting for the inevitable. And out is the call. So Estrada is retired, and Echeverria makes a tremendous play.
And that's the image that they showed on the scoreboard a minute ago, and clearly showing Marco Estrada out.
So the Marlins are now 10 for 11 in calls overturned, and they're on a streak, Rock. That's 9 in a row they've had overturned. Watch this play, though. What a great play by Echeverria.
Yep, on the second base side of the bag, and he had the right guy getting down the line, though. Marco Estrada. I mean, he's taking it easy because he has had a number of leg issues, hamstrings, quads, and taking nothing away from the play that Echeverria just pulled off.
Top of the order, Segura. 1 gone in the 5th. Brewers lead 3-1. 2-run homer by Mark Reynolds broke a 1-1 tie. And Segura just lays the bat out. Backhanded Dietrich. Throw to first. Safe. And no chance to turn this one over as Segura sprinting down the line with a base hit. An infield hit. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
A nice approach. Not trying to pull it. Just punching it into center field. Second time he's been able to hit one back through the middle. And how about that approach for Segura? Not a bad pitch by Kohler. Just trying to lay the bat on it, and clearly safe at first.
And we'll see if he is on the move. He had a stolen base in the first inning. It was a throwing error by Saltalamacchia that allowed him to go to third, and then he scored on Jeanette's sac fly.
So I guess Gene Segura is glad that Marco was called out, because that probably would have been a force out. No hit for him. He would have figured that Dietrich would have been able to make the play at second base on that.
I'm thinking had Marco been on first, Segura might have hit one in the seats.
There you go.
Sneak attack. You know, with a lot of attention being paid to Estrada, stolen base threat at first, distracting the pitcher.
Pitching out of the stretch, he might have hung that breaking pitch, and he would have knocked it out of the ballpark. You're right.
That's what I'm thinking.
I take it back.
Or it could have been a double play. Or 1 out. Segura was off quickly in the first inning when he reached base. We'll see if Jeanette's going to give him a chance to run. Saltalamacchia this year behind the plate has thrown out 7 would-be base stealers, but he's 7 for 36, so just 19% throwing out runners attempting to steal.
Yeah, including the stolen base tonight for Segura.
And you can't pin all of that on the catcher, although that was a poor throw by Saltalamacchia in the first. A lot of it has to do with the pitcher. Most of it has to do with the pitcher. 1-0 on Jeanette. And Segura goes. Jeanette swings, and it's fair. Going down the line. Segura all the way around. He's coming home, and he'll score. Jeanette on his way to third. And the throw is cut off. It is an RBI triple for Scooter Jeanette. And the Brewers lead 4-1.
And the reason it took Stan so long to get there, he was playing very shallow, not thinking that Jeanette was going to pull it or hit it over his head. Just inside that first baseline. That was close. Not reviewable because it was in front of the first base umpire, so you can't review that call. That's what the fans were screaming about. But you can't review it, and it'll be a triple and an RBI for Scooter Jeanette.
2 ribbies tonight for Jeanette, gives him 12 for the season. His second triple of the year. And the Brewers have a 3-run lead. They now have 7 hits in this game. Forces the Marlins infield in with Lucroy at the plate. 1 out. And a ball away from Kohler. Lucroy coming in, batting .325. 2-0 on Lucroy. Big run to pick up. Brewers trying to add to it in the 5th. And it's back up the middle. Knocked down. Jeanette stays put. And Lucroy is out.
Oh, how about that? Oh, man. Look in your other hand. You got a wristwatch. I mean, they talk about a lucky flip of the glove out there behind his back. Knocks it down. And good job by Jeanette to stay at third base. He would have been an easy out at home plate. Check that out. You know, if he continued to home plate, would have been an easy out. But tough break for Lucroy with the infield in. That would have been a base hit.
Brewers have 7 hits and a number of line drive outs, hard hit balls at the plate. Overbay, Lucroy, Chris Davis have all come up empty. That ball is in the air to left field. Gomez watching, and it is off the fence. In to score Jeanette. Gomez to second, and it's an RBI double. Carlos Gomez makes it 5-1 Milwaukee.
Yeah, picking on the first pitch. Brewers are getting good swings off of Tom Kohler tonight. Certainly not his night. He said he was due. He hung a slider, and Gomez, I think he thought he hit it out of the ballpark. Didn't run out of the box right away. About midway up on that wall out and left, Gomez able to cruise in with a double.
You have to recalibrate your home run distances, right?
Yeah, here.
Takes a little bit.
This is a big ballpark with a high fence.
2-out double and an RBI for Gomez. 2 hits tonight, and he has 24 runs batted in as Reynolds takes a strike. 5 runs on 8 hits for the Brew Crew tonight. Reynolds broke the 1-1 tie with a 2-run home run in the 4th. Most runs Kohler has given up all season. And that ball's hit deep into left center field, way back. And Mark Reynolds does it again. A 2-run home run. And it's 7-1 Milwaukee as Reynolds, his 2nd home run of the night, his 11th of the year, and the Brewers are rolling in Miami tonight.
And 4 RBIs for Mark Reynolds. Well, the Brewers able to put up a crooked number here in the fifth inning. Something they haven't been able to do all that often. And another fastball. Very similar to the pitch he hit out of the ballpark his last time up. This one out in the left center. And the Brewers got their hitting shoes on tonight.
Boy, I guess 7 runs on 9 hits, 3 home runs in the game. The Brewers have 2 from Reynolds. Stanton has the other home run. And the Marlins only hit.
This is an ERA buster for Tom Kohler tonight.
Kohler, the most runs he had allowed in a game was 4. He did that against the Mets on the road in 5 innings. That was at the end of April. And then he gave up 4 runs in 3 2/3 against the Dodgers. And as Overbase sends one deep center field, Ozuna runs it down. The inning is over, but the Brewers get 4 big ones. And Mark Reynolds with a multi-home run game, his second 2-run homer of the night. 7-1 Milwaukee. Brewers with 2 tonight. Mark Reynolds at the top with 11. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag WisFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by AT&T. Don't forget that hashtag WisFanPhoto. Now Marco Estrada getting some runs here tonight. 7 on the board for the Brewers. Now the Brewers getting 6 of those 7 runs in the last 2 innings. Brewers hit for the team cycle last inning. Segura had the single, Jeanette with the triple, Gomez the double, Reynolds the home run. Now we'll see if Estrada can keep it going here. He's only allowed the 1 hit. Faced 1 over the minimum, has 5 strikeouts. Garrett Jones, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Marcell Ozuna due up.
I almost tweeted a photo today. I was on my big walk, you know, to Cape Florida State Park, not too far from the hotel. 3 of the hugest lizards I've ever seen ran right in front of me along the trail.
Oh, yeah. Did they hiss at you?
No.
Oh. That's what I would have done. Did you hiss it then?
I ran. But then they stopped. I took a picture of them.
What made you decide not to tweet it?
It's just not me. I sent it back home just to give them a sense of what I've been doing here in Florida.
Yeah, just hanging out with the wildlife.
Right.
That's fun. I wonder if they have a lizard represented on the sculpture out there. I'm not sure about that. It's more of a kind of a water scene.
Got flamingos out there, flamingos, and a couple of seagulls.
Two on the way. Fouls it back. Count remains at 2-2. There is a lot to look at in South Florida. Beautiful scenery here.
Yeah.
The water. So cool. Beautiful color. Some deep sea fishing here in Miami. We've been waiting for an off day here in this city for a while. Hadn't happened in the last few years. This is the first game that the Brewers have had here with the roof open. That ball's hit hard, way back. Garrett Jones will watch this go. Wow, upper tank. Well, the Marlins get their money's worth with their 2 home runs tonight. Stanton and Garrett Jones, and it's 7-2. And you don't see many go up there.
Yeah, 7th pitch he did bad. I think Jones was able to tomahawk a pitch up in the strike zone. I want to say it was a changeup that he waited back. Garrett Jones has had plenty of at-bats against Marco Estrada. Actually, it was a fastball, 89 miles an hour up in the strike zone, and got on top of it.
There's Saltalamacchia. Isn't it amazing? You were telling that story. Frank Menachino, their hitting coach, said, talking to his club this year, you know, we're not going to go up there swinging for the fences, trying to overpower this ballpark. That ball's hit well to right. Backing up on it is Schaefer with room to pull it in. Saltalamacchia on a deep fly ball. Back to the home run from Jones.
Well, the Brewers saw plenty of him as a member of the Pirates, hitting home runs against Milwaukee. Doing it now with the Marlins.
Had he been in Pittsburgh, that had a chance to go into the Allegheny.
Yeah. One of the 3 National League Central players that have come over to the Marlins in the offseason.
1 gone. Here is Ozuna. But you know, Rock, you talk about going to the plate, having the right approach, making a good swing at it, and then the home runs kind of come. The home runs come when you're going about it the right way. As Ozuna pops it up, he got jammed, and Davis makes a catch for out number 2.
Sometimes when you muscle up, you try and take that big hack because you have the big ballpark here. As you take a look at the All-Star update, the Feltco All-Star update, got some guys on that list that certainly deserve it. Segura's starting to get things going. Carlos Gomez certainly. Jonathan Lucroy having an All-Star season. Got to get Jonathan to the All-Star game. He is certainly deserving, both at the plate and behind home plate.
Jam shot. Reynolds coming in. Good play to end the inning. So Marco gives up a long home run, but that's it. It is 7-2 as we go to the 6th. They lead the Miami Marlins. Carsoup.com trivia. The Brewers leader in RBIs the 2010 season. And we're giving you an idea that it was that man, Casey McGee. What a year.
Yeah,
career year for him with 104 ribbies.
Yeah. He was something else.
You had Braun and Corey Hart, all with 100 RBIs that season. Ed Lucas in the game to play short. It'll be a double switch here for the Miami Marlins. New pitcher is left-hander Brad Hand.
You see his numbers. He's had a rough time, but we talked about it on the pregame show today. Brewers Live. The bullpen for the Marlins has been a bit shaky. And their closer Cishek has been very good, but some of these guys with some big numbers with their earned run averages.
Chris Davis turns on one. That's way back in deep left center field. And that one is gone. Wow. A bomb of a home run from Davis. 6th of the year, and the Brewers are teeing off on the Marlins tonight.
Yeah, way over that back wall out there. Well over that 427 sign out in left center. Well, the Brewers are hitting some madness shots today. We've seen some big flies in this ball game. Stanton, Jones, now Davis. In a ballpark that you come into and say you're going to have a tough time hitting home runs. Well, that's not been the case. 5 of them already.
Broken bat off the bat of Schaefer. McGee makes a catch for the out. Take you back to that home run. This was tattooed. Watch where this thing ends up.
Fastball right down the middle of the plate. And no chance that's staying in the ballpark over the 427 sign.
Up on the party deck up there. There. Reynolds with 2 homers. Davis joins him in that category, and the Marlins have home runs from Stanton and Garrett Jones, and they've all had some mileage on them.
And Brewers doing a real good job of getting those add-on runs, able to get that run back that Garrett Jones put on the board. They've got their 6-run lead back.
8-2. Estrada working on a 2-hitter. Double-digit hit total tonight for the Brewers. On a night when Ryan Braun is out of the lineup. Ramirez still on the disabled list. And Hand overpowers Estrada. Second out of the inning. As promised earlier, our AT&T fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo, hashtag WisFanPhoto, for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast. And tonight our fan photo is from Kim, and we appreciate it, Kim. Recent photo from Miller Park.
No iguana in that photo.
No. I think here's had a chance to make the air tonight. Doesn't have to be just selfies or people. I mean, we encourage all kind of animals, and if you can somehow put some kind of Brewer gear on an animal, then you're guaranteed to get it on the air. So.
Put a Brewer hat on the iguana.
Put a hat on the horse.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the year we'll have a ranking system of the top WIS fan photos of the year.
I hear you.
I'll go ahead and be the judge for that. As Segura draws the walk. I know you got a lot on your plate. So.
Self-appointed judge.
Yeah, I think that. I don't want to overwhelm you too much at this point. Scooter Gennett with 2 away. Brewers have hit 3 home runs in a game 6 times this year. They've got 3 tonight, 2 by Mark Reynolds. Chris Davis homering to start this inning. 8-2 Brew Crew as Jeanette. Missing hand, and that one is low and away.
You see that that mitt that Segura is using to protect the fingers when he slides head first into the bases.
Jeanette into center field, routine for Ozuna, and that will retire the side. But the Brewers keep adding on, and a long-range home run from Chris Davis, number 6, up on the party deck.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Snug and Washburn. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Well, Rock, you know they say imitation is the finest form of flattery. And the Clements famous racing sausages have inspired the Sea Creatures race here in Miami. Goodness.
Yeah.
What do we have here? We got I see the octopus. There's a shark.
Crab, a shark, a seahorse.
Ah, the seahorse. So the little one was a crab, huh?
It had claws on it. I mean, what else could it have been?
Makes sense. It's kind of hard to take it all in when they're running, you know.
Probably a stone crab. They're famous down here.
Ah. I didn't catch who won. I believe the crab won tonight. I don't know what the game is, but slow roller's got some spin on it. It'll stay foul. See, now you know why we appreciate Miller Park so much. For many, many reasons, but we get to go all over the major leagues and see all these imitations of races.
Right.
And then you get back to Miller Park for the original.
And you get the real one, the Clements famous racing sausages.
And they are famous.
Yep, they are.
First at bat for Ed Lucas. Came in on the double switch last inning, hitting in the 9 spot now. And Marco Estrada strikes him out. Marco with his first strikeout since the 3rd inning, but he has 6 Ks already.
And mixing all of his pitches pretty well. I mean, fastball, changeups, curveballs, they're all working for him. I know Marco is very glad to have that changeup back. What a difference it makes in his game.
Here comes the changeup here, and that's in there for a strike on Christian Yelich. Marco struck out 5 of the first 10 batters he faced. Interesting note here on Estrada. When you think about his night tonight, he's given up 2 solo home runs, hasn't walked anybody. He has not pitched from the stretch in this game. He's been in the windup the entire game.
That's right.
0-2 to Yelich. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Last time up, a steady diet of changeups, then got him looking on a fastball down the middle. This time, tried another changeup. Keep throwing it till they hit it. 2 home runs have come on fastballs.
Ball and 2 strikes on the Marlins leadoff hitter. Lays off a fastball. That's the thing about Estrada. He can, because he has such a good changeup, he can live and thrive with a high fastball that's only in there at 89 miles an hour or so. There's the changeup, backhanded by Jeanette, and the speedy Yelich is out.
Even when they know it's coming, they have a tough time sitting back on it and driving it up the middle. I mean, particularly young hitters have a tough time with that Marco Estrada changeup. Veteran hitters are going to be able to make adjustments. When you have a young lineup, that's a very effective pitch.
And if you're a coach out there, you coach little leaguers or amateur players, and if you're a young baseball player and you pitch, we implore you to throw the changeup. It's the best pitch in baseball. It takes a while to learn how to throw. It takes a lot of confidence to be over there on the mound and throw one that's not your best, what you would feel like is your slower pitch, but it has such an effect on a hitter. As long as the release point is the same, as long as the spin is the same, and you can toy with a lot of grips with the changeup.
A number of different changeups, a circle change, a straight changeup, but you know the best thing about a changeup for young kids, not a lot of stress on the arm, not like a curveball or slider. Throw it like a fastball, same delivery, you just grip it differently, and you just don't get the speed.
The whole idea with a changeup is try to keep your fingertips off the baseball. If you can keep your fingertips off the ball, that's where the velocity comes from, because when you throw a fastball, you're creating backspin. So if you can limit the backspin, you're kind of bearing that baseball in the palm of your hand. That's the art of the changeup. Work on it now, and it'll take you a long way.
And choke it back in a grip. I mean, normally if you get a baseball, you have the index finger and the middle finger just barely on the laces, right on the end of your finger between the last knuckle and your fingernail, and that's where you get your big velocity. You get your good wrist cock on it.
Payoff pitch here, and a bouncing ball to Jeanette. And Marco Estrada rolling along here. He's given up 2 long homers, but that's it. And the Brewers lead 8-2. Lucroy leads off. It is courtesy of Toyota, and the Brewers gone fishing tonight. I'm talking big flies. Mark Reynolds has 2. He homered in the 4th to give the Brewers the lead, and then homered again in the 5th inning. 2 2-run home runs for Mark Reynolds. Watch this blast by Chris Davis up on the party deck. 3 home runs for the Brewers tonight. Marco Estrada has given up 2 long balls, but he has been very good this evening, and he's through 6 innings. It is 8-2. Marco with 6 Ks tonight.
Brewers hit for the cycle in the 5th inning. Single, double, triple, and home run all in 1 inning for the Brewers. Boy, when was the last time the Brewers put a snowman on an opponent? 8 runs. It's been a while. May 5th against the Diamondbacks.
That was a Matt Garza start at home against Arizona.
And before that, you go back to April 9th.
Overbay and Estrada, the only Brewers in the starting lineup without a hit. Overbay could have a couple of hits tonight. Jonathan Lucroy sends one deep left center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. And the hits keep coming as Lucroy is in with a double. Lucroy with his 2nd hit of the night. Boy, he is on a tear at the plate right now.
I mean, he just on everything. It looked like an off-speed pitch. Hand tried to get one in the outside corner. He got it there, but left it up, and Luke were able to drive it hard into the gap out in left center. Boy, just staying on everything, seeing the ball well, and putting a good swing on it.
Double number 17. That is in the top 10 in the National League. And Lucroy keeps climbing the batting average leaders as well. As you see, Gomez's night at the plate, presented by Wendy's. And a double in the 4th. He scored a run, then he hit one high off the fence to drive in a run in the 5th inning. Swinging away at the first pitch again. He fouls it off. Second pitcher of the night for Miami. Brad Hand came in for Tom Kohler. Kohler's worst start of the year. Gomez 2 out of 3 with those 2 doubles. Ball and 2 strikes. Did you see who Sunday's starting pitcher is for the Marlins?
Randy Wolf.
How about that? Post Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Started with the Mariners and got his release, and he ends up here in Miami, and he'll get the call on Sunday. We do not know who will pitch for the Brewers just yet. Gallardo is scheduled to start. Speculation is that it will be Jimmy Nelson. His start was scratched in AAA tonight, but you don't know. Brewers are being very cautious with Giovanni Gallardo after he rolled his ankle in his last start in Atlanta. Couldn't get out of the 4th.
Yeah, the Brewers might very well, if they do call up Nelson for the 1 day, might send a position player down to keep that bullpen intact.
Gomez hits that ball deep right center field over the head of Stanton, and it one hops off the fence. Coming in to score is Lucroy as Gomez with his 3rd double of the night, and it's 9-2 Milwaukee.
All right, hit barrage that we have not seen with this Brewers ball club in quite some time. Look at that approach by Gomez. That sweet swing right there on the pitch up and away, a fastball. Stanton not playing all that deep. That one rattling off the wall out there in right center, and Lucroy comes across home plate for run number 9. 9 runs, 12 hits for the Brewers. On a night where you figure you're not going to get a lot of offense, particularly home runs, playing in this park.
Oh, and here's Reynolds trying to keep a great night going. 2 homers tonight to Takes a strike from Hand.
Well, this offense needed this. If not the offense, how about Johnny Nairn? He's got to be happy about this.
Yeah.
Finally, his offense uncorking tonight.
Yeah, that'll help a hitting coach relax a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to sleep pretty well tonight. I imagine he's had some restless evenings.
The most hits in a game this year by the Brewers, still 19. That was that game on April 5th in Boston. First road trip of the year. Most runs in a game is 10. That was against the Phillies on that same road trip as Reynolds strikes out. First out of the inning. Second strikeout for Hand.
Hey, with just $24, get a ticket package that includes one Brewers Terrace Reserve ticket to one of the following games: May 26th, June 3rd, or June 24th, and one Summerfest general admission ticket. Good anytime during Summerfest 2014. Visit Brewers.com/Summerfest.
Here's Overbay now with one away. Back-to-back doubles in this inning has the Brewers on top 9-2. Out hitting the Marlins 12-2. Overbay hit one sharply in the fourth inning, but he hit the pitcher on the follow-through, and he was able to recover and make the play to first.
And Kohler just kind of threw his glove behind his back, knocked it down, and threw him out.
Gomez at second base. And Overbay takes a ball. Been a tough road trip for the Brewers. Their longest road trip of the year. They started with a win on Friday a week ago at Wrigley Field, where it was 50 degrees colder than it is right now. And then they dropped the next two at Wrigley. Lost the first two in Atlanta before they won game 3, and then they lost last night. Just 2 wins on the road trip. Overbay in the air, left center. And it is going to be Ozuna who comes in at the last moment. Gomez is tagging, and he is safe at third. Took a shot at it. Ozuna has a great arm, as you can see. And Gomez at third with 2 outs as Overbay is retired. And that'll bring up Chris Davis now. Homered in his last at bat. He is in our Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play.
Well, he can buggy whip a fastball in on him. About belled high in on him and sent that one about 430 feet.
Second homer on this road trip for Davis. He hit a long home run in Atlanta as well. That was on Tuesday. 6 homers, 16 driven in. Hoping to get his batting average up as the season continues. He feels like he is a much better hitter for average than what he's shown this season.
It's starting to climb. Getting into an area that's a little bit better. Certainly was able to sport a much higher batting average last year. I figure he felt some pressure to start the season. Had a starting job out in left field. The Brewers moved Ryan Braun from left to right, put pressure on himself, and felt as though he had to hit a home run every time up, pulling off the baseball and doing a better job now of staying on it.
Now, when Davis was called back up last year, right around the All-Star break after the Braun suspension, as he lines one foul, he put Gomez on the ground, and then the ball boy took a spill out there. Everybody falling down on that line drive foul ball by Davis. Gomez looked like he saw one of those lizards that you spoke of this morning.
At least he didn't turn around and run the other way.
0-2 on Davis. Yeah, Davis hit .294 when he was called back up. He struggled the first time around. He made the club out of spring training, first opening day roster last year, and then he came back up to replace Ryan Braun. And in 41 games, he had .294 with 11 homers and 27 driven in. And that's why the job was his to start the season. Always used to hear about the two K. Davises in the Brewers minor league system, Chris and Quintrell. Quintrell had a big night yesterday in Huntsville, hit for the cycle. Chris was ahead of him.
There's been some big offensive performances down in the Brewers minor league system this year. 3 homer games.
I saw where Clint Coulter, the Brewers first round pick from a couple of years ago, a catcher, young catcher. He's having a great year for the Timber Rattlers in Wisconsin. Hitting some home runs. I believe he has 8.
They signed him out of high school, so he had a long way to go. Starting to figure it out now is Coulter.
A Bill Schroeder-sized catcher down
yeah, he is
A-ball.
He is a big boy. Yes, he is.
Ron Renicke's son Lance is one of the coaches. He's a player coach for the Timber Rattlers in Appleton. He's enjoying that. Full count, 2 outs. Got him. Davis strikes out to end the inning, but Brewers get back-to-back doubles, and they lead it 9-2. Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Friday night in Miami, 9-2. The Brewers have the lead. Marco Estrada pitching well tonight. Good comeback for him. Facing Giancarlo Stanton to start this inning. Stanton hit a long home run in the first with 2 outs and on an 0-2 pitch. Hadn't been a whole lot of offense for the Marlins. Just 2 hits tonight. Both of them home runs. Garrett Jones and Giancarlo Stanton.
And standing behind that fastball. Marco's pitch count is in very good shape. 78 pitches. As we work here in the 7th inning, not much going on offensively for a Marlins team that's been very good in this ballpark this year.
That ball's hit deep. Stanton will watch this go way back. Oh my goodness. We have seen some of the longest home runs of the year in this game, and there have been a bunch of them. Second homer of the night for Giancarlo Stanton, and it's 9-3, and Stanton has 14 for the season.
Well, the first 2 home runs coming on fastballs, and it looks like home run number 3 coming on a high fastball. This guy just doesn't miss mistakes. Look how far this one goes. Over the seats and on the concourse out there in left field. Wow. He is one of the strongest guys that you're going to see in all of baseball. And nobody hits him any further.
Here's Casey McGee. 3 tape measure home runs by the Marlins. The Brewers, of their 3 home runs, 2 of them have been 400 plus. We're going to have to add up the mileage in these home runs tonight. Might be able to get us back to the hotel.
Who says this is a tough ballpark to hit homers? Yeah, when you hit them 500 feet, it doesn't matter where you hit them.
Casey McGee bounces to second. That'll be Jeanette to take care of him for the first out. Think about this, and back to your story, you know, the Marlins have been going to this approach where they're going to try to stay on the ball, not hit the home runs, and yet the home runs are coming. This is the 26th game at Marlins Park this year for the Marlins. They have 26 home runs in those 26 games here.
And look at the dimensions in this ballpark. I mean, you're not going to just get one off the end of the bat or get jammed very often and hit a home run. You got to barrel it up and get it all, particularly if you go gap to gap here. Down the line and left, it's 344 with a very high fence. Certainly built for pitching. The Marlins don't seem to be having much of a problem, or the Brewers here tonight. And when you swing easy and your bat speed is at its best at the point of contact, that's what you're talking about. You don't need to wind up and swing and, you know, get yourself off balance. I mean, nice easy swings and that ball will jump off your bat. It's a simple concept. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It's not.
And these guys have plenty of power to hit the ball out of the ballpark if you're taking the right kind of swing. That's usually when you get in trouble. As Jones pulls that one down the line, that's got a chance to go, and it is gone. Another home run for Garrett Jones. Solo home run, his second of the night. And it's 9-4 Milwaukee.
And that was a big decent pitch by Marco Estrada. It was a changeup down in the strike zone, so don't go anywhere. The Marlins aren't going away. Look at this pitch. I mean, Garrett Jones out on his front foot, and talk about bat speed at the point of contact. Kept the hands back. He was out in front with the body. Hands stayed back, generating enough power in that swing to knock it out of here on a changeup.
So Jones now with 8 home runs on the year. Saltalamacchia at the plate.
These fans here in Miami have seen a number of late inning heroics from this ball club. They're never out of it, it doesn't seem.
The Marlins have 7 come from behind wins this year. That's a lot for the 3rd week of May.
Yep, it's 9-4, and Marco still has not worked out of the stretch.
Yeah, that's got to be some kind of
right,
interesting novelty there. The fact that he's given up 4 runs on 4 hits. He hasn't had any base runners behind him. Brandon Kensler starts to get loose. Brewers have their pitching coach and their bullpen coach back tonight. Lee Tunnell and Rick Kranitz have returned to the club. Full count to Saltalamacchia. Got him. Estrada rings the bell on the outside corner.
Yep, got the fastball right on the corner. Saltalamacchia tried to sell it to Marvin Hudson. Looked pretty certain that Saltalamacchia that was off the plate. Looked like it had plenty of the white. Hey, the Brewers take on the rivals from the Windy City. That's Friday, May 30th through Sunday, the 1st of June. Reserve your seats today at Brewers.com or call 414-902-4000 when the Chicago Cubs come to Miller Park for a weekend series.
Two gone here in the 7th. Marcell Ozuna takes strike one. And a hot shot past Reynolds, a base hit. The first hit that is not a home run for the Marlins tonight. Ozuna with a 2-out single. And Estrada will go from the stretch for the first time tonight. Brewers would love to get Marco through this inning. His spot due up second in the 8th inning. Try to make it a clean 7 for Estrada.
And former Cub, we forgot to mention Jeff Baker, former Cub, National League Central guy that's here in Miami now. He's going to get in that bat in the pitcher spot. This might be the last hitter for Marco. One way or another, it's probably going to be it. Pitch count now at 94, a rough 7th inning for him.
So Baker will pinch hit. And a quick scouting report from the Brewers pitching coach, Rick Branitz, former Marlins pitching coach. 233 this year. Has always hurt the Brewers, though. 368 career hitter against Milwaukee. Normally reserved for left-handed pitching, but he's in there against Estrada. 2 outs, 9-4. The Brewers have the lead. The most combined home runs in a game in this stadium's brief history. Marlins have hit 4. The Brewers have hit 3.
Third year for this ballpark.
3 players with 2 home runs apiece. Stanton, the big lefty Garrett Jones, and Mark Reynolds for the Brewers. Reynolds has 4 RBIs on those 2 home runs. Davis's was a solo shot, and all 4 of the Marlins home runs of the solo variety as well. 1-1 to Baker. In there, strike 2. That is Chris Hatcher in the Miami bullpen. He'll have the 8th. Brewers will have Schaefer lead off, then a pinch hitter, and then back to the top of the order. Still a comfortable lead. Marco trying to get through this 7th and keep the Brewers up 5. Two balls, 2 strikes on Baker. Full count, and that'll send Ozuna on his way at first. Payoff pitch. Ozuna takes off. Baker, a base hit. Ozuna on his way to third. Baker taking a spill around the bag at first, but a pinch hit single, 4th hit of the inning, and 2 on now with 2 away, and that's going to do it for Marco Estrada. Renicky is on his way to make a pitching change. Well, Marco Estrada just couldn't get to the finish line here in the 7th.
And before this inning started, he had a chance to finish this ball game, but the Marlins have chased him here in the 7th with 2 outs.
We'll take a timeout. Set up Kinsler when we continue. Giving up 4 runs, still has a couple of base runners his responsibility. And he'll turn it over to Willie Peralta tomorrow. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Check the airtime tomorrow. We're at it at 2:30 on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Jacob Turner and Willie Peralta tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Wisconsin. We'll get it started with Brewers Live. Peralta always enjoys pitching here. Has had good success in this ballpark. Here's Brandon Kinsler now, Rock, out of the bullpen in relief of Marco Estrada.
All right, needs to get the 1 out in the 7th inning. The Marlins all of a sudden right back in this ball game. A long ball here, and it all of a sudden gets interesting. Kinsler appeared in last night's ball game, pitched in the 7th inning, did not get an out, gave up a base hit.
And Lucas takes strike 1. 4 hits in the inning. Kinsler trying to get the Brewers to the bat in the 8th. And a 5-run lead here. Brewers with 9 runs on 12 hits. They've hit 3 home runs. 7 home runs in the game tonight. I would say that with the roof open, this is a more hitter-friendly ballpark. It is, but the distance that these home runs are traveling, I don't think it would have mattered.
No, I mean, none of them.
Some rocket shots tonight as Kinsler misses. 7th inning was the trouble inning last night. Brewers lost their lead in Atlanta. Kinsler was on. He caught a bad break. There was a ground ball in the hole. Reynolds dove for it. It went off his glove. Ended up as a double off the bat of Laird. As a bouncing ball, Jeanette ranging over, tough hop, and he cannot handle it, and a run will score. And the 7th inning is causing some trouble again tonight.
And once again, Brandon Kinsler victimized by some bad luck. I mean, nice pitch. Ate Lucas up on the inside part of the plate, but Jeanette shaded up the middle on the shift. Not able to make the play. So here we go. It's 9-5 with a couple of men on, and the top of the order coming up.
Three runs in. And here is Yelich, the 8th batter of the inning. This inning started with a Giancarlo Stanton home run in the 2nd of the night. And now Lucroy on his way to chat with Kinsler. Trying to stop the bleeding right here.
The 7th inning, point in the ball game when most teams, starters beginning to tire. You got to find a way to get to your setup man and your closer, and most teams are going to have issues in that period of the ball game.
Two on, 2 out. Brewers lead by 4. 2-0.
It's very rare to see the Brewers bullpen falter. They did last night and on the verge tonight.
Hoping this was going to be a breeze of a game. The Brewers got a 9-2 lead. There's a bouncing ball. Segura is there. Nobody at second. Long throw, and it is just in time to get Yelich. What a great play by Segura. And the inning is over. And we'll see. Hang on just a moment. We'll see if we need a challenge or not. Mike Redmond is on his way out. This one could go to replay. You see the Marlins bench coach Rob Leary on the phone, and Redmond taking a look at him.
Umpire with his back to the dugout so that Redmond can take a look. And I think he's satisfied that it's an out.
And now we can go.
Now we can leave.
To commercial. Great play by Segura. Wow, close. I'm not sure Yelich touched the base. Inning over regardless. Game again as the Marlins score 3 runs in the 7th inning. The Brewers went into that bottom of the 7th up 9-2. It's now 9-5, and it's going to be Chris Hatcher on to work this 8th inning. Logan Schaefer will lead off. We'll see a pinch hitter, most likely Weeks, and then back to the top of the order.
Another struggling reliever. We talked about the fact that this bullpen for the Marlins has been a bit shaky. They've got a few guys that are throwing the baseball well. Chris Hatcher, big earned run average over 7 in his 30th game here tonight, and has given up 6 home runs.
Well, a bang play to end the bottom of the 7th inning. Segura making a terrific throw across. I think initially Segura was looking for an out at second, but Jeanette was covering the hole between first and second, so there was no force play there for him. And a strong throw across the diamond with a very fast runner on his way down the line. That could have been huge if he is safe. Check out this throw by Segura, and Yelich will be coming in your shot. And wow,
I'll tell you, I'm surprised that they didn't try and put a review on that one. That was pretty close.
Mike Redmond went out. He was looking back into the Marlins dugout. Remember, in the 7th inning, the umpires can go take a look at it. They chose not to, though. Redmond could still force an umpire to go if he has a challenge, which he does, because he won a challenge earlier. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that might have been worth the risk.
Right, particularly with the 2-hitter coming up with the bases loaded.
And Schaefer, a big swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on the Brewers right fielder tonight. Just one more look at it. Not that it's going to change anything, but
yeah, he's out. I mean, not out by much.
Wow. That good work in the truck. Schaefer hits it sharply, but right at Lucas. And a low throw dug out, one gone. And that'll bring up Ricky Weeks, who will pinch hit. That'll take Kinsler out of the game. Now you're all set up, Rock. I think one of the frustrating parts about this game, look, if you go on to win, it's really all that matters is that you get the W, and they have a 4-run lead, but they're up 9-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. There's a chance tonight to make this an easy game for your bullpen, where you don't have to go to the guys that pitch in the close games. So I don't think that's going to be the case right now.
Well, no, I mean, be glad to have 9 runs, right? Because this is a very good offense, particularly good here at home. You got 5 runs. Brewers with 9, and they might need every one of them tonight. These guys can hit. These Marlins can hit, and they can hit good pitching.
5 runs tonight on 7 hits, 4 homers. Will Smith will have the 8th inning for the Brewers. Now Ricky Weeks ahead in the count. Weeks coming off the bench here for Renicky. Ryan Braun is also available off the bench. I'm sure Renicky would rather not use him tonight, since he is sitting because of a tweak in the oblique. Braun hopeful to be back in the starting lineup tomorrow. There's big Will Smith. He said he came out of that ordeal last night just fine. He felt like he was loose, felt like the 8 pitches is all he needed. It was a hot night in Atlanta.
His first pitch was 93 miles an hour. I mean, Will Smith is a guy that doesn't take long to get loose. So Ron Renicky had the right guy in that situation.
Ricky Weeks draws a walk in a pinch hit appearance. And a base runner here in the 8th with 1 away. Top of the order now in Segura.
Talking to Marcus Hamill, the Brewers bullpen coach, acting, or I should say bullpen catcher, acting bullpen coach last night, said it only takes Will Smith about 8 or 10 pitches in the bullpen to get loose. Of course, he also has those 8, you know, when he gets out on the mound, you know, for the game, but still in all, that's not many, so he gets ready quickly.
Segura on the first pitch into center field, out number 2. I was impressed with Will Smith last night as well. And you know, when you go through a bad ordeal like that, when there's blame going around, and it's just not a pretty scene when you don't have a pitcher ready to come in. So there's a lot of blame, there's a lot of discussion. Renicky, of course, took full responsibility, did not give us many details at all other than to say that's my responsibility and I should have had somebody ready. But Will Smith also said, look, I was ready to go. I gave up that hit that drove in 2 runs at Doman, and that's on me. You know, I was ready. I had made pitches. I felt good. My arm was fine. I was throwing hard. So
yeah, it's not like these guys don't do anything throughout the day. I mean, they get loose. I mean, they play long toss. They get loose, you know, before batting practice. So they do loosen up a little bit, but that's like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. Over and done with. I think the Brewers have moved on.
Yeah.
They were able to, you know, get some runs on the board and hopefully come away with a victory here tonight.
And look, at the end of the day, when you have something like that, it's easy for a ball club to start pointing fingers. But if you're looking for a silver lining, you're always trying to check the character of a club, at least from our position. But I like the way everybody had each other's backs last night.
Absolutely.
You know, coaches to players, players to coaches, front office. That's good. That's a good sign. As Jeanette takes a strike. We've been around ball clubs in the past, and something like that goes on, and there's a lot of finger pointing going on.
A lot of guys getting rolled over by buses.
That's right. That's right. So, shows a pretty cohesive clubhouse, I think. And that's what you need. I've been around here 8 years now. This is probably the funniest, most light-hearted clubhouse I've ever experienced in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
These guys, you walk in there and there's laughter, there's music, they're having a good time.
And you've been around for Nigel Morgan, Mike Cameron, those kind of guys.
Yeah, they had individual characters, but as a group.
Right. Well, they like each other. I mean, that was apparent even in spring training. Everybody was commenting on how cohesive this group is. Of course, winning will make everything right in the clubhouse. Brewers still in first place, although they've struggled this month. And it's good tonight to see the offense picking up the pitching. That hasn't happened in a while.
Brewers are a run away from matching their season high. Got 9 runs on 12 hits. 2 outs in the inning here in the 8th. Weeks still at first. He walked. Not much of a stolen base threat anymore. Hatcher just into the game here in the 8th inning. Scooters had a good night. A couple of RBIs. He drove in the first run of the game with a sac fly in the first. And then he tripled in a run in the 6th inning. 1 for 3, 2 ribbies. Batting average at 274.
Yeah, Ricky Weeks now at second base. I guess they called a ball.
2-2. Jeanette in the air to center. Ozuna is there. Side retired. So the Brewers leave a man in scoring position. Giancarlo Stanton coming up here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Post game tonight. New pitcher is Will Smith. A 4-run lead to work with. Renicky using his setup man and appearing, Rock, for the 26th time this year. That is second in the National League.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Ample time to get loose. His 26th appearance so far this year, and an earned run average at 0.42. How good has he been? 31 strikeouts in just a little over 21 innings of work. That's the middle of this Marlins order to deal with in the bottom of the 8th.
Derek Dietrich will start it for the Fish. Renicky would know he was hoping for a night where he could get by without using some of his key relievers. Can't afford to take that chance here with a 4-run lead, especially with this part of the order coming up. This is the part of the order that has done all of the damage. Stanton coming up next, then McGee and Garrett Jones. Jones with 2 homers, Stanton with 2 homers tonight. Interesting note from our buddy Aaron Charlton with Stats Inc. This is the first game in the majors with 3 or more players with multiple home runs since the 2011 season. Tonight it's been Reynolds, Stanton, and Garrett Jones with multi-home run games. Aramis Ramirez was involved in that game the last time it was done. The Rockies at the Cubs. Carlos Gonzalez for the Rockies, and then it was Aramis Ramirez and Carlos Pena for the Cubs. You don't see multi-home run games from 3 or more players that often.
And interesting that it would happen in this ballpark.
Two balls and a strike on Dietrich. 2-2.
That command has been impeccable for Will Smith, both on the inside and outside corners to left-handers. What's been impressive about Smith is he's equally effective against right-handed hitters.
On the breaking ball. Count stays at 2-2. Check out the Marshfield Clinic. Leaders in relief. Games pitched. Brad Ziegler of the Diamondbacks leading the National League in games. Smith is right there. And he loves it. He loves the work. He's so happy to be in the big leagues.
And K-Rod's on that list too.
And there's a base hit. Dietrich taking a big turn around first. And not the way you wanted to see an inning start for the Marlins, especially with the big boppers coming up.
That's a nice at bat by Dietrich. Lefty versus lefty. Got a slider and having it right back through the middle. What a night for Giancarlo Stanton. His first time up. A big fly into deep center field. That one going about 430 feet. And his third time up in the 7th inning. See you later. This one might have even gone further.
What felt like a blowout win for the Brewers possibly has turned into a grinder here. Milwaukee still leading by 4, but Stanton can change that quickly. Runner at first, nobody out. And Smith missing down and in. If you're wondering what the most home runs in a game between two teams this year is, that number is 10. Back in mid-April, the Pirates and the Reds combined to hit 10 home runs. 7 tonight. And now it's 2-0 on Stanton. Brewers led 9-2 going into the bottom of the 7th.
See Fox tracks. All 3 of these pitches could have been called strikes. A relatively tight zone for Marvin Hudson tonight, particularly in this at bat to Stanton.
Big pitch here. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dietrich over at first. Stanton fouls it away. 6'6", 240.
Not an ounce of fat on him.
California native. He's from Sherman Oaks, California. Had a chance to play football in college as a receiver. Chose baseball instead. He was a second rounder out of high school. Signed in 07. He was in the big leagues 3 years later. 2-2. And Stanton. Little jam shot in the left. Davis is there. Will Smith.
Yep, got the slider in on his hands. Good pitch. Coming back from down in the count 2-0 to one of the premier power hitters in the game and able to get him on a slider.
Bob Wooten getting loose in the pen. Came in last night. Had a big strikeout to end the inning in that 7 for the Brewers. Struck out Justin Upton. Casey McGee now with 1 out. Brewers would love to turn a double play here. McGee does not run well. He's got some pop. Don't be fooled by that 1 home run. He can drive him in the gaps. Play by Lucroy keeps the double play intact. McGee's bounced into 4 double plays this year. And a quick chat for Lucroy.
He still has some runs to play with. He don't be messing around and walking batters trying to be too fine. Still have a 4-run cushion. A lot of ground balls for Smith. 3.5 to 1. That's a good ratio.
2-0 on McGee. He was late on a fastball. Casey came up in the Cubs organization. Brewers picked him up in the Rule 5 draft. Or actually claimed him on waivers, I beg your pardon. And then he was in Milwaukee in 09. He spent 3 years with the Brewers, 9, 10, and 11. His best year to date of his career was as a Brewer. 2010, he drove in 104 runs. He belted 23 home runs.
Came up with a lot of men on base behind Braun and Fielder.
Yes, he did.
A lot of guys on for those guys.
And a bouncing ball. Got a chance here. Reynolds to second, and the out there. Throw to first, not in time. Took a little while to develop the nature of the ball as Reynolds had to wait back, but they do get the lead out at second base.
And it wasn't hit hard enough to even turn a double play on Casey McGee. A jam shot on a 3-1 pitch. So Will Smith living dangerously. He got behind 2-0 on Stanton, 3-1 on McGee, and able to get them both.
That was a good shot of Reynolds. You could see he was right in between whether to charge it or wait back. He took the more serviceable hop to make sure he got the out.
Get one and just make sure one. You don't want to risk a bad hop coming in, trying to be greedy and getting a double play.
So McGee at first on the fielder's choice. Garrett Jones at the plate for the Marlins. Huge inning to get through for Will Smith, even with a 4-run lead with this part of the order. Jones with 2 home runs tonight in his last 2 at-bats, both off Estrada.
He's never been very good against left-handed pitching, a platoon player. In a platoon last year with Gabby Sanchez. He played some right field once in a while.
Saltalamacchia would be next. Ball and a strike. 2-1. What a find Will Smith has been. Traded in the offseason. Royals to the Brewers. Those are his splits. How about those numbers against lefties? A 100 batting average. Two and two. Beg your pardon, 3-1 the count. Garrett Jones, a 200 hitter against southpaws. If you're diving into the splits, he's hitting 279 overall. Obviously a lot better against right-handers. So the Brewers have the matchup in their favor. But a hitter's count here to Jones. He's late. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 3-2.
He's got a little bit of giddy up. It seems as though his velocity has gotten better as the season's gone on. Normally slider time for Will Smith. That put-away slider, that's where most of his strikeouts come.
Got McGee over at first. Here it comes, the payoff pitch, and a ball outside. Wow, close. Check the swing. That's a heck of an eye by Garrett Jones to lay off that pitch. That is usually a strikeout.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pitch, just a little bit off the corner. And Jones fortunate that that didn't catch the edge.
So 2 on with 2 outs from above. Good call. And Jones able to check his swing. Now Saltalamacchia. Switch hitter, turns around right-handed against Smith. 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of strikeouts batting left-handed. And he goes. Strike 1. Been a tough year in spots like this for Saltalamacchia. With runners in scoring position and 2 outs, he has just 1 hit. He's 1 for 17. The Marlins as a team are flourishing in that role. The best team in the big leagues with 2 outs and runners in scoring position overall. Hitting .285 as a team.
And this time Will Smith able to get ahead of him 0-2. That's that approach we were talking about, the new Marlins approach. Runners in scoring position, not trying to do too much. Will Smith in the driver's seat with 2 outs.
Bottom of the 8th, Brewers lead by 4. 2 on, 2 out. And Smith delivers an 0-2 and a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Smith with the strikeout. Works around a hit and a walk. Puts up a 0 in the 8th. And the Brewers leading 9-5 as we go to the 9th in Miami. hoping their team can post a comeback tonight. 9-5, the Brewers have the lead, trying to get to the finish line in the first game of this series. Hatcher back out there for the ninth. He worked a scoreless 8th inning, worked around a walk. Good job by Will Smith getting through the inning, had some traffic behind him.
Yeah, best slider of the night to Salta Lamacchia on an 0-2 count to get out of the inning. Nobody said it's always going to be never going to be easy.
This was the night you're hoping it would be, with a 9-2 lead going into the bottom of the 7th. Big numbers for Lucroy. 2 for 4 tonight, a double and a single. 327 on the year, keeps climbing him up the nationally batting average leaders. He's had a huge road trip, Lucroy. Even when the Brewers weren't hitting, Lucroy was. Jonathan, 433 clip with 5 doubles. 5 of his 13 hits on the road trip have been doubles.
He's been so good at taking pitches on the outer half of the plate up the middle into right field that now they're starting to come in on him, and that's where he's going to give you some power. Last time up, that double to left center on a pitch in on him. Luke's been so good that Ron Rentke's used him at first base a couple of times on this road trip. Trying to get as much offense as he can in the lineup, and Lucroy very willing to go over there and help the team.
Well, Ramos Ramirez still on the DL. Gomez in and out of the lineup as Lucroy knew it. Called strike 3. Down he goes. So the first out's going to bring Gomez to the plate. And our shining moment tonight, courtesy of the Marshfield Clinic. How about the night of Gomez? After a day off yesterday, he has come back with 3 doubles tonight. 2 runs batted in. He scored twice. 3 for 4 this evening. Gomez having a great night.
And that's the most impressive one right there. That one to right center. Nice short stroke, not over swinging. And the ball just jumping off his bat.
10 homers, 25 runs batted in for Gomez. And a bouncing ball, going to be a tough play over is Dietrich. No chance. And the throw bounces off the dugout. Gomez will reach on his 4th hit of the night. That'll be an infield single for Gomez.
And Carlos still nursing that sore back. Sometimes that might help him. And he's really under control in these swings. He's not taking that back leg, that big swing that he's trying to pull everything. And because of that, I think he's been able to stay on the baseball. A couple of hits tonight to right field. You never know what's going to have an impact on you. Sore back, you change your swing a little bit, and he's responded well tonight.
Beware of the weary, right?
Right.
Gomez has pushed his batting average over 300 with his 4 hits tonight. Here's Mark Reynolds. 2 home runs, both of them with a man on. And no doubters, both. And he's not even on the list as the longest home runs hit tonight. That designation goes to Chris Davis. And the longest measured home run tonight at 448 feet. Stanton's home run, his second, went 444 feet. And then Garrett Jones went 431. So Reynolds not quite on the list, but both of them were 400 plus.
All they have to do is go over the fence.
Any home run that goes over the fence here
right.
is a blast.
Even bounce on top of the fence and go over. They all count the same.
7 home runs tonight. Reynolds, Garrett Jones, Giancarlo Stanton with 2 apiece. Overbay would follow. Overbay, the only position player without a hit who started tonight's game. He'd love another shot as Reynolds pulls it foul.
Should have had 2 tonight.
Yeah, I think so.
Ron Rennie not messing around tonight. A 4-run lead. He's got K-Rod getting loose in the bullpen. He doesn't want to let this one get away. That's actually Wooten, my mistake.
I think you were slightly distracted by the Clevelander.
I was.
Which is right by the Brewers bullpen.
You know how flashy lights affect me.
I know. Called strike 3. Reynolds is out. Same pitch that got Lucroy gets Reynolds 2 outs in the inning.
That fastball, perfect. Right on the knees on the outside corner.
Lyle Overbay with 2 outs and a runner at first. Marlins will have the bottom of their order coming up in the 9th. Starting with Ozuna. Brewers with 9 runs on 13 hits. To Overbay, and that's on the corner right at the knees. 0-2 the count. Hatcher starting to find the edges. Two Ks in the inning, both looking. Worked a scoreless 8, trying to give the Marlins 2 scoreless. The final 2 at bats. Overbay back up the middle. Lucas is there. And all kind of time. Hang on a minute. We got a. What do we have here? That's going to be a balk. Is that the call? They're going to place Gomez at second base. Brian O'Nora waved the play dead immediately. Overbay never left the box, so I'm assuming that is a balk.
I think it's the same thing that happened to Ricky Weeks. Ricky Weeks was at first base. All of a sudden, he appeared at second.
That's 2 balks by Hatcher.
Probably for not stopping. You got to set just for a second. But he does that pretty much all the time.
Well, he strikes out Overbay regardless. There's Rob Wooten. All tuned up, ready to go. He'll have the 9th. Brewers lead by 4. On a Friday night, Brewers trying to improve to 7-1 on Fridays. If you like going deep into the stats.
Nice.
Rob Wooten on the pitch. got a 4-run lead to work with, and Renicky counting on Wooten to get to the end without having to use K-Rod.
Yeah, it looked like K-Rod to me down there in the top of this inning, as far away as we are. But Wooten in his 14th appearance so far this year for Ron Renicky. He has a 4-run cushion. And Ron is certainly hoping that Wooten can put an end to this one without using his closer. A couple of men on, it becomes a save situation. And K-Rod's starting to get loose right now.
Yeah, just staying ready, staying hot just in case. It has been a night of home runs here at Marlins Park, setting a ballpark record for home runs. It's only been open since the 2012 season, but 7 home runs tonight. Brewers had a 9-2 lead going into the bottom of the 7th. Marlins scored 3. But Will Smith came on, did a good job to get through the 8th. Marcell Ozuna will start it for the Fish. Ozuna had a base hit and a run scored in the 7th inning. It's 1 out of 3. Marco Estrada in line for the win. Had to be lifted in the 7th inning. Segura bobbles. Got to hurry now. Long throw off the mark. Boy, no way to start an inning there. E6 on Segura.
About as routine as it gets for Segura, but oh boy, he's just asking for trouble now. Good pitch by Wooten. He got him on the ground ball. A couple of hops right up the glove, and not able to recover with a good throw to first base. Good throw gets him a little bit off the mark.
E6 on Gene Segura. And here is Reed Johnson pinch hitting.
One thing you don't want to do is have to deal with Stanton at some point in this inning.
The Brewers still have a little bit of time before that happens. Stanton, when we started this inning, due up 6, 5 batters away. Reed Johnson, former Cub, former Blue Jay. Good numbers off the bench for Miami. Bouncing ball, Segura dives, got it, throw to second for 1. Jeanette not in time. Heck of a play by Segura to get the lead out.
Yeah, heck of a play just to get there, but then he was able to make the backhand flip over to Jeanette, for the force out at second. Boy, another couple of inches, and that's into center field, and the Brewers are in big trouble. Good speed down the line for Johnson. They're not able to turn the double play.
You can see these two, Jeanette and Segura, just starting to evolve as a great keystone combo. I mean, these guys trust each other. How about Jeanette with the guts to try to turn 2 there, knowing that Segura was ready to make that play, put a good throw on him.
These guys are never satisfied with just one.
Oh, I mean, that's what you like. There's a little bit of swagger with that.
Always want to turn the double play, and they get upset when they don't.
Johnson at first. And Lucas takes a strike. Lucas came in on a double switch back in the 7th inning. That's why he's hitting in the 9 spot. Lucas had an RBI infield hit in the 7th. Marco Estrada goes 6 2/3 tonight with 5 earned runs. He struck out 7. He was cruising along through the first 6. He had only given up 2 runs. He just ran into trouble in that 7th inning. Had to give it up to his bullpen. Kinsler, Will Smith, now Rob Wooten trying to close the door on the Marlins on a Friday night. Swing and a miss. Wooten powers him with a fastball, and down he goes. A strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning.
throwing a good slider in this inning. Actually, that slider has been a very good pitch for him since his recall. Got ahead with the slider, then put him away with the high fastball.
2 outs. Marlins down to their last out as they go back to the top of the order. Christian Yelich. Inning started with an error. Segura made up for it with a terrific diving stop to get a lead out. And Wooten gets ahead of Yelich. But a busy night for Segura. Uniform shows it. He's had 2 hits. He's walked. Back in the leadoff spot tonight. He scored twice. He does have the error, but he's made a couple of real nice plays in short as well. One of the biggest plays of the game was Segura throwing out Yelich to end the 7th inning when the Marlins were threatening to bat around.
And he's done a heck of a job as that leadoff hitter. Back-to-back nights. He's been on base, scored 4 runs in 2 games. I'm ready. He might have found something here.
I wouldn't imagine it would change tomorrow. See if Ryan Braun's going to be able to get back in the lineup tomorrow.
Even better.
And Yelich able to check his swing, says Corey Blazer. 2-2. Yelich can fly, and in that inning in the 7th, the Marlins had already scored 3 runs. They had 5 hits in the inning. There were already 2 men on base. Segura just got him. I mean, by the length of the spike of his shoe. Bouncer to Segura. He'll go to first again, and that is the ball game. The Brewers win tonight, 9-5, as the bats wake up here in South Florida. Marco Estrada picks up the win. Handshakes for the Brew Crew tonight as they get the victory over the Miami Marlins. Estrada beats Tom Kohler. And the Brewers win for the 3rd time on this road trip. 7 home runs tonight, 3 by the Crew. Mark Reynolds goes deep twice. Chris Davis a home run as well. Gomez with a 4-hit night. Good night all the way around. Let's send it to Jeff Grayson. He's in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios ready for Brewers Live. Jeff.